Joho Leute und herzlich willkommen zu einer weiteren Folge Iris. Ich starte jetzt eine neue Aufnahmesession, sage ich jetzt mal, wobei ich nicht weiß, wie lange die überhaupt werden kann. Ja, das heißt, jetzt wird mein Englisch wieder etwas beschissener sein als sowieso schon. Und ja, ich nehme jetzt einfach mal ein Stück auf und keine Ahnung, hoffe, dass ich dann irgendwo relativ passenden Schnitt setzen kann, wobei das bei diesem Spiel ja nicht so schwierig sein sollte. Und ich entschuldige mich jetzt schon mal wieder dafür, dass ich irgendwelche Sachen vorlese, die nicht da stehen. Ich merke das beim Schneiden immer, da sind teilweise so dumme Wörter drin. Zum Beispiel, keine Ahnung, einmal habe ich his anstatt her gesagt, obwohl das eigentlich eindeutig war und so. Und ich weiß nicht, was mein Kopf macht, wenn ich englische Sätze vorlese oder überhaupt lese. Aber ich hoffe, ihr, keine Ahnung, lest einfach mit und versteht trotzdem, was ich meine oder so. Und seid nicht vollkommen verwirrt, wenn ich da irgendwelche falschen Wörter irgendwie mit einwerfe. Gut, lasst uns anfangen. Also, wir waren gerade dabei, mit Kylan zu reden und ich habe vermutlich wieder seine Stimme vergessen, aber ich versuche jetzt einfach, und so. But first, you have to tell me everything you can about your problem. Your symptoms, when it began, what you think triggered it, everything you can think of. Remembering Lyell's warning, I can't help but hesitate. As though sensing my brain of thoughts, Kylan clucks his tongue. If you want me to help, you have to trust me. Trust him? Easier said than done. Can't you just give me your potion? You said you have one that might work, right? I don't have it anymore. But before you slap me for deceiving you and run off in anger, I should mention that I have written down how to make the potion so I can recreate it, as long as I have the ingredients, which I don't. So I need to go into the mines of mischief to grab the ingredients I need for the mixture. Ihr versteht mich schon. I can do that. What do you need? No, I'll need to go in person with you. I have specific methods to extracting of. Ja, da war schon wieder falsches Wort, ne? Es tut mir leid. Methods of extracting the ingredients I need. Narrowing my eyes at him, I give in with a sigh. Ja, es tut mir leid, ich kann nicht lesen. Ich hoffe, das bessert sich jetzt wieder im Laufe der Zeit und so. Aber keine Ahnung, ihr kennt es ja nicht anders. Ihr wisst, worauf ihr euch einlasst. Fine, I'll see if my friends can come along. Perhaps my animal companion as well. We could use the extra firepower. Kylan looks like he wants to argue, but I continue cheerfully, ignoring the way Kylan's lips have thinned in disapproval. If you want me to trust you, you'll have to trust me on this. Do we have a deal? Kylan's expression doesn't change as he thinks over my offer, but eventually he breaks out into an easy grin, so genuine that one would find it hard to believe he was against the idea of forming a party just a few seconds ago. Deal. Now tell me everything you know. For the first time in days, I feel the faint stirrings of hope deep inside. And despite my distrust towards Kylan, still, I find myself sincerely thanking him. To my surprise, Kylan's face clouds over instead, and even as he recovers quickly with a smile, the shadows continue to lurk in his eyes. Once again, the doubt begins to resurface in my mind. Did I make the right decision when I choose to trust him? Lyell. Are you certain about this, Aliya? Can we trust that stranger? Avoiding Lyell's eyes and focusing on polishing the sword in my hand, I can only manage a shrug. We don't have a choice. Yes, we do. It's not necessary to I'm going to just sit here and wait for whatever this is to pass, Lyle. I'm not. Tut mir leid. I'm not going to spend more sleepless nights worrying about waking up somewhere I don't remember going, or being unable to recall the events of the previous day. You're sure this suspicious person can give us a cure? I'm not, but at least we're doing something. I exhale loudly, turning away from Lyle. Zickenkrieg. You don't have to come along with me, you know? I know you disagree with my choice. The silence dragged on as I switched to stroke Teddy's head, who has dozed off with her head on my lap. Finally, Lyle speaks with a long sigh. You're right, I don't agree with your decision, but I'm not going to let you go into that dungeon alone with him. I don't trust him. Rolling my eyes at their overprotectiveness, I flash Lyle a small smile. I'd be fine, I have Teddy with me. But still, I'm glad you're coming. Lyle doesn't respond, just giving a non-committal hum. Hey, sorry, am I late? I am late, aren't I? Had to go pick up my repaired armor from the blacksmith. Both of our heads snap up in unison to see Iviria sliding into a seat at our table, casually swiping Lyle's drink and taking a sip. Iviria, thanks for coming. Nah, thanks for inviting me along. The two of you could probably have handled this quest easily, so it's kind of you to let me tag along and split the reward. It's going to be so much fun. Also, ich weiß nicht, ich habe letztes Mal irgendwie versucht, irgendwem irgendwelche Stimmen zu geben. Jetzt sind es wahrscheinlich wieder vollkommen andere. Oder man kann sie so oder so nicht auseinanderhalten, weil ich einfach eine monotone Stimme habe. Aber ich gebe mir Mühe. Ich hoffe, ihr appreciated das und so. Iviria beams in excitement, but I lift up my head to stop her from continuing to speak. Wait, Iviria, didn't I tell you that it's not really a quest, so there's no money reward involved? I could have sworn I did. We're just helping a friend of mine to get the materials we need from the mines of Michi for a potion he's working on. Iviria's smile freezes for a brief moment. Then she chuckles with a wink. No, you're right. My mistake. I mixed this up with another invitation from another friend next week. Of course I'm down for this even without a reward. It'd be awesome to have an opportunity to compete with you again. Just so you know, Aliya, I'm going to kill the most creatures again this time, so you can stop hoping that you'll win for once. Shaking my head with a loud laugh at Iviria's occasional forgetfulness and spirited nature, I stick my tongue out at her. I don't remember agreeing to a competition, but we'll see. Ready to go? It's a familiar, interrupting voice. We all look up to see Kylan's approaching us with long, easy strides. He has a struggle bag hanging over his shoulder and a pouch hanging from his belt, half hidden by his coat. Yes. Kylan, these are my friends. On the left is Lyle. They are an experienced mage who will double as our healer. To the right is Iviria. She's the best warrior in the guild. Lyle, Iviria, this is Kylan, the one I told you about. Oh, so these are the infamous Lyle and Iviria. I've heard many things about you. It's a pleasure to meet you. Kylan reaches out to shake Iviria's hand, and then Lyle's. The moment of awkward hesitation before Lyle takes Kylan's hand with reluctance doesn't escape Iviria's notice, but I pretend not to see her questioning look. This is a good party. I will try my best not to slow the three of you down with my rusty skills. Lyell makes a small sound of displeasure in the back of their throat, and I nudge them in the side as warning before turning back to Kylan. It's fine, the mines of mischief isn't difficult to clear anyway. Perfect, are you ready to get going? Always am. I slide Lyell a questioning look, who scowls but gives a small jerk of their head that I take as agreement. Yes, lead the way. Ooh, die Mienen. Our footsteps slow to a halt in front of the entrance to the dungeon, and Kylan steps forward, throwing his arms up in the air. This is it, we're here. I haven't been here in so long, yet nothing has changed. Kylan continues to look around, an almost childlike expression of excitement written all over his face. Some of my anxiety fades away at his obvious eagerness, and my sympathy from earlier when I first heard about his injury comes rushing back. Whoever this person is, however strange he may seem, it's clear he used to be a vassal like us, and he shares the same love for adventuring and dungeon raiding that we do. Great, so this is a glorified escort mission? How long has this guy been retired again? Teddy. Just speaking the truth. We're all thinking it anyway. Next to me, Lyell hides a smirk at Teddy's blunt remark, and I'm grateful that only Lyell, Iveria, and I share the magic link to Teddy and are able to understand her words. Ach so, hätten wir das Geheimnis also auch gelüftet, dass sie eigentlich nicht sprechen kann, oder ich weiß nicht, ob Teddy eine sie ist, aber ich gehe einfach mal davon aus, fragt mich nicht wieso. Also nur wir verstehen sie und sie kann nicht wirklich sprechen, aber anscheinend aufrecht laufen und uns begleiten und das ist auch überhaupt nicht komisch oder so. Aber okay. Teddy, be nice. To be fair, Teddy isn't wrong. Kylan cocks his head at our exchange. His gaze flickers between Teddy and me with a curious, almost hungry glint in his eyes. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. Unnerved by his intense stare, I gesture towards the open gate, clearing my throat. Shall we? Right. Yes, of course. I'll go first. The four of you stay behind me. Pfft. Like I need your protection. This kind of dungeon is a piece of cake for me. Before I can react, Teddy has started forward and into the dungeon. And I can only let out an spirited chuckle before running in after her. Following the sound of Teddy's growl, we soon come to a relatively clear area, where a few abandoned minecarts still remain. Where did the beer go? I swear, Aliya, if you change your mind and want to sell her to a circus, I can help you. Incoming! My gaze flies to the opening of a tunnel just in time to see Teddy bounding towards us on all four, leading what appears to be a pack of corrupted boys. Mother of souls, seriously, Teddy? I can barely hear Teddy's mischievous laughter above the thundering of the boys as they approach. Iveria and I shift into a battle stance, lifting our weapons to prepare for combat. Next to me, Kylan slides his dagger out of his hiding place, while Lyell mumbles quietly as they cast protective enchantments on us. Lyell, get ready. On it. Ups, da ist die Folge leider schon rum. Es tut mir sehr leid, euch mit diesem Cliffhanger aus dieser Folge zu entlassen. Nee, keine Ahnung, also tut mir leid, aber passt halt gerade, weil viel länger kann die Folge eh nicht werden. Also hoffe ich, euch hat die Folge gefallen und wir sehen uns beim nächsten Mal wieder, wenn es dann heißt, wir kämpfen gegen gefährliche Wildschweine und gewinnen hoffentlich. Bis dann und tschüss!